So a lot of students asked me a particularly peculiar question. And the question goes, what is it that I can do that would make my profile so good that I can get into the top colleges of the world? Well, I'm here to tell you a step by step priority method that has worked as a formula and as a matter of fact for the students that I've gotten into Cornell, to Duke, to Babson, to Princeton. I'm a product of Princeton as well. I got through Princeton University. So I'm going to talk to you about that secret formula that helped me and helped numerous of my students get into the colleges of their dream. I'm going to talk about the first thing. You can make all the profiles in the world, and the profiles can be extremely profound, they can be extremely creative, in depth, but primarily and prima facie, if you're not able to score your marks, if your academics lack, that's where you will have a problem. Because academics are the first and if not the last thing that the counselors end up seeing in your college profile. Trust me, if your scores are absolutely the best, it's only then when the counselors are going to move to looking at your profile and they're going to try and see, oh, this works, this doesn't work. They would get into the comparative details of your profile only when your initial prima facie academic performance is absolutely at par. If it's not at par, it doesn't matter. And I've seen this before because I've had so many students who had an excellent extracurricular profile, some things that uh, perhaps I would say was an ingenuous creation of the student itself, but it did not work. The student could not get into a good college. Why? Or maybe the college of their dream. Got into a great college, but so the student I'm referring to got into Babson, but could not get into Cornell. The reason being academics. So the student's academics lacked, and it lacked on two fronts. It lacked on the SAT part and it lacked on the AP part. That's the only limitation that we saw throughout the profile. Now, what we have done all throughout the last 8 to 10 years, what I've done throughout my journey and experience is I've compiled a document of what works and what doesn't work. And the first thing, and if you want an access to this document, you can let me know. I can give you a free access to this document. You just have to, go on this particular link, fill the form, and it will be in your email address within no second. But I'm going to talk about why academics are super duper important. Because if you're not able to score marks, the counselors are not going to look past your profile. Now, let's say that assume that you have an academic profile or graph that goes upwards. It's a great performance, it's a great story to talk about. What's even better is one that's exponential, one that goes from one point and ends up to the other because it makes for a great story. But one that you really should avoid is the one that goes like this. You can have a flat line, but you cannot go like this. So once your academics are sorted out, you need to build a strong and a reasonably strong profile. When I say reasonably strong profile, I don't mean you need to do 100 great things altogether. You want to focus on a couple of good things that you sincerely put your heart in. And within Common App, there is a section wherein you need to write the tenure of the activity. This is where you need to see if the student has worked from class 9th or 10th, if the student is sincerely passionate about any project. If you say that a project is a passion project, it needs to have time, it needs to have a certain amount of tenure, because if you haven't put time in it, you haven't demonstrated passion. Demonstrating passion is what needs to be done. It's not foretelling passion, it's the demonstration of it, which only happens through tenure. So a couple of your passion projects needs to have time, enough and impactful time, and it needs to be around 1 year at least, a minimum of 1 year. Don't expect your startup to just begin right before your college exams and your college applications and you're done and sorted. Do not do that. Give your application or your activity at least a year or a 2 year chance, so it can be demonstrated that you've actually put in effort there. The rest of the application can be a mix and match of research, it can be a mix and match of creativity. I'll give you 4 elements that you need to focus on. It's the mind, it's the athletics, which is the body, it is of course your experience as to what you've done with respect to the subject, and the research. All four of these parts, when covered proficiently, you would be able to do wonders in your academic profile and in your common application journey. Well, if you need to get a free profile building analysis of where you're standing right now, that's something I can help you with. Again, there's another link in the section. All you need to do is just fill in your details, and I'll email you a sort of a questionnaire that comes in, and I'll help you understand where you stand at the moment. I'll give you a analytical score, and you can also subscribe to get suggestive comments as to what you can do to improve these particular profile bits. Well, the most important part finally of the application remains your story, and your story cannot be through generative AI. Your story is demonstrative to your words. It's the common application essay, it's the common app essay that needs to be so ingenious, so creative, and so original that it only tells your story. Well, if you follow all these steps, take 1, 2, 3, would you get a guaranteed admission in Harvard? Absolutely not. It's still uh, an 8% or a 7% acceptance rate into most of the courses in Harvard. Well, I can tell you this one thing: there is no secret formula to get into this Harvard university. There is a bit of a luck factor involved, but trust me, if you get these check boxes correct, follow an algorithm that we've placed for the last many years of successful candidatures, you can have a good potential chance of getting into your dream college or even Harvard.